Hi, my name is Indranil Kumar Shetty. I'm head of data science and data engineering at Aja Consulting Services. In Aja, we have developed a mobile application to automate food coupon issuance process to our employees so that our employees will be able to redeem this particular coupons on a daily basis in the Aja cafeteria. Earlier in Aja, we used to provide paper-based coupons on a daily basis worth of 20 rupees for each employees so that they will be able to redeem in the cafeteria. So on a daily basis, each and every employee has to go to the admin, wait in large queues and collect their paper-based coupons. For this, it requires a lot of time and also manpower. After collecting these paper-based coupons, these can be used against breakfast and snacks in the cafeteria by depositing them in the box. On a weekly basis, the vendor needs to preserve all the paper-based coupons and go to the finance team, manually count them and exchange them against the real cash. And this whole process was very time consuming and required a lot of manpower. So to overcome all these challenges and obstacles, Aja has developed an in-house mobile application called RedeemX. In this application, on a daily basis, when the employee logs in, he will be rewarded with 20 points. Now, the employees can redeem their points by scanning the QR presented in the cafeteria against their favorite breakfast or snacks. This application was developed by the in-house Python team, where the tech stack used for this application was, for the front end, we have used React, HTML, CSS, and for the backend, we have used Python and Fast API. Now, the application demo will be presented by our team, where they will showcase all the functionalities and features of the RedeemX application.
This is our Python team from Aja Consulting Services. So, here's Bhagwan, here's Vamshi, Nitisha, Harita. Now, I'll show you the login page. Now, I'll log in as an admin. So if you see this is our login page and this is our landing dashboard here, and we have home, vendors, users, reports, change password and logout here. So the functionality works in this way. So whenever a particular employee comes into our office, right, he swipes in the biometric application. So in that biometric application, once he swipes in, the application will send the data to our backend servers. That backend server will be trigger an event. For that event, we will be assigning the points on a daily basis. So if you see, today we have assigned 1848 points to the employees. So each point will be considered as a rupees here. So by now, so today, now the time is 3 o'clock, 766 rupees were used by our employees, and these were the unused amount. And if you see, this is a vendor balance. So what all the employees redeem, right, that will be reflecting in the vendor balance. So vendor can redeem it later on with the finance team. So if you see, this is the pie chart displaying all the information. If you see this on a monthly basis, in the month of April, these are 9,200 points were assigned to the employees, and these were employee redeem points 7,799, and these are all employees unused and vendor redeemed and vendor balance. And this is also yearly data, and all this data is much useful for the stakeholders at the end of the financial year, so that they will be able to grant all the finances for this application. Now I'll also explain the skill set that were used for this particular application. So for this application, we have used Python as a main programming language, and we have used Fast API as a web framework here. And also we have used MySQL for all the database design. And we have also integrated OAuth and JWT for the authentication purposes. Now our team will be explaining you for the user manual.
Hi, this is Bhagwan Charku. I'm working as a Python developer in Aja Consulting Services. Now I'm going to explain about the user dashboard in the RedeemX application. First, user has to log in using email ID or employee ID. Now I'm using employee ID, password, this is a user dashboard. Right now I have 22 rupees balance. When I go to cafeteria, if I want to buy any tea or snacks, then I have to send money. Then I have to click here. To send money, I have two options. One is a scanner and a select vendor. Now I am selecting the vendor. Right now we have only one vendor. I am selecting the vendor, confirm the vendor, entering the money 7 rupees. Description is optional. I am entering description. Pay. Payment completed. If you want to see transaction history, we can see here. By default, today transaction will be here. If you want to search filter, we can filter here. By default, all transactions will be here, like credited history, debited history. If you want to see only credit history, you can see credit history from admin. If you debit history, you can see here. Next, my colleague will explain tech stack behind the application.
Thank you, Bhagwan. Hi, my name is Tadpamla Vamshi. I'm a Python developer in Aja Consulting Services LLP. Now I am going to explain the tech stack we have used in Aja ReadyMix application. For the front end, we have used Tailwind CSS styling and React. In the back end, majorly we have used Python as a major programming language, and the framework we have used Fast API. And for the database, we went with MySQL. So now I'm going to click on the pay. So what happens in this pay? When I click on the pay, API is triggered. When the API is triggered, the money from my account is going to be debited, and 10 rupees is going to be credited in the vendors. So we have a transaction table where we can debited record is created, and at the same time a creditor record is created. In the name that the record is created on the debit on my name, and a record is created on the vendor saying that Vamshi has transferred 10 rupees to you. Next vendor part will be explained by my colleague. Thank you.
Thank you, Vamshi. My name is Harita. I am working as a Python developer in Aja Consulting Services LLP. Now my team explained user and admin dashboard. Now I am going to explain vendor dashboard. So now I am going to log in as a vendor in ReadyMix app using vendor credentials. So this is the vendor dashboard. So this is the home page of the vendor dashboard. Here we can see the overall points of the vendor till now the vendor gets, and here received points, total received points, the points sent by the employee. So we can change based on date filter, we can get the points, and we can select by using the month. Here in below we can see all the recent transactions of the made by the employee. So as of now we can see like Vamshi Tatipamla has sent 10 rupees to vendor. So here in vendor dashboard we can see the transaction made by Vamshi here. So now I am going to explain transaction. So when I click on this all received and redeemed, so in the backend it will trigger and it will call the API. So here it is showing the displays all the transactions made by employee, and here received today till now the vendor gets all the transactions, and based on date filter we can see that all the transactions. If we give like start date less than end date, at that time we get validations. This will be managed in the backend. Next will be continued by my colleague.
Thank you, Harita. Hi, my name is Nitisha. I'm working as a Python developer in Aja Consulting Services LLP. As now, I will explain the reading functionality for the vendor. See, we are seeing the plus icon. If we click on plus icon, we'll see all the previous claims. And also we are seeing the one button redeem. If we click on button, it will show the how many points you want to convert points to the real money. I can enter here 1000 and I'm submitting. See, by default the status will be pending. Transaction will be going to the admin. Admin can approve or reject my claim. If he approve, here will show in the green color boxes, and if he reject, it will show in the red color. And also I can select here what are the pending transactions here there. As of now, just I raise the claim, so it's showing only one pending. And also if I click on approved, these are the approved transactions. And also for the reject, For the reject, these are the reject transactions. And also this is the QR code. By using this QR code, employees will send the points to the vendor. This is the vendor profile. In the vendor profile, vendor can see the vendor details like employee ID, mobile number, vendor name, and also bank details. If we click on here 3 dots, vendor can change the password and also logout icon, logout button. If we log out, it will be redirect to the login page.
Hi all. Earlier we have seen our development team developing the ReadyMix application. Now we'll see our DevOps team deploying our ReadyMix application. So to deploy this application, our DevOps team has chosen AWS as a cloud platform. So they have purchased an instance there. Now our DevOps team will be explaining how they have deployed this application. So here is our team, Vidya and Ashirvadam. So each one will be explaining their roles and responsibilities in how they deployed this application.
Hi, my name is Ashirvadam Gandasala. I am working in Aja Consulting Services as a DevOps engineer. To deploy our ReadyMix application, we choose Docker as a containers. Why we choose Docker? For every application, we are having front-end, back-end, and database. We use Docker containers for all of these three. For front-end, we write a Docker file, as well as for back-end, we write one more Docker file, and for database also as a container. Now I will show the process. I just connected to my Linux instance, in which I will show what are the folders and files existing. Here we can easily identify multiple folders and files as well. I just changed into that folder where our front-end and back-end applications are developed. This is the folder. Here we can find that backend and front-end applications. I just go into that backend application first. There I have to write a Docker file. I will show the Docker file, I will show my Docker file as per my backend requirement, as well as I am switching to front-end application. Here also I written a Docker file. This is my front-end Docker file. And using Docker Compose YAML, all these front-end, back-end and databases are connected at a time. This is my Docker Compose YAML file. Here, what are the services I am mentioning? Backend, wherever the Docker file, I will give the path of the Docker file. Frontend also the same. And databases I configured as a container directly from the Docker Hub. And also I configured Nginx as a load balancer as well as a reverse proxy process.
Hi, my name is Srividya. I am DevOps engineer from Aja Consulting Services. Now I would like to conclude our project. Our DevOps team has successfully deployed a cost-effective application on AWS. Now I am going to show you the Docker Compose YAML file, which whatever I have configured, like services, front end, back end and everything. This is the Docker Compose YAML file which I have written for this project. This is a service and this is the front end and this is the Nginx and this is the port mapping. And I also configured networking settings so that all containers can communicate internally. And I have set some environment variables for each service to ensure smooth runtime behavior. This project setup our deployment more manageable, secure and reproducible. And also with just a single Docker Compose -d, the entire application can be launched seamlessly both locally and on the EC2 instance.